Hey folks, Ricky's Garage here. Today's build is going to be the 74 Trans Am. We're doing a undercoat under the hood. I'm going to basically show you how to do that. It is a pretty rough shape. I don't think it's ever been redone, so I'm just going to give you guys like a guidance of how to do it, and we'll go from there. All right, so here's the Pontiac. I'm gonna give you a tour under this hood, what Mother Nature has done to it. Yeah, we're gonna basically repaint all that. It's not in too bad of a shape, but it definitely could use a nice touch up. And as the build goes, I'm gonna all this here, fix all that. So here's the inside. I'm gonna probably have a video on fixing this, video on putting all the paneling back together. Can't see, but the radio's out, but it's in it's pretty taken apart in random places, as you can see. So yeah, so this is the 74 Trans Am. I'll just, for the hell of it, I'll show you it's the cow tag. To also mention, this vehicle has been off the road since 1986. This is the last time this vehicle was registered, so almost basically, or even 87, 86 to 87, basically almost 40 years, 38 years this vehicle's been off the road. And I'm just gonna put it all back together and get it on the road again. As you can see, hood's off. The underside, it's about to get nicely pressure washed, cleaned up a little bit, get all that grease out. So stay tuned. All right, so the hood's removed. Upon inspecting this hood, I noticed there was a hole right there. I found a piece of tape that I want to cut about that much out just to play it safe, and I'm gonna use this as a guide. I'm gonna trace this and cut it out, and I'll cut a little piece from here and I'll weld it right there with this Eastwood welder. I had to put a clamp down to help me, so. All right, so new piece, old piece. Just gotta fix this one up a little bit, you know, the corners and stuff, clean it up a little bit, and should be good to be patched on. All right, yeah. Old piece, new piece. I sandblasted it, so it's nice and clean. And just gonna basically start welding it in. The piece is on, a good ground, and the piece I cut out, I made sure that this is flush. You want to make sure that these two things are flush, because if not, you're gonna have to use like a hammer, bang it out, and you always want it to be about a pencil tip, give or take gap. I'm not no professional, you know, so this is what I recommend as a, you know, new beginner. But I clamped it on. I'm gonna do about 4 beads, mix match on each side. So I'm having a rough time right now with this clamp in my way, but I'm gonna definitely just try my best to weld, and hopefully it comes out good. I know the angle isn't the best, but it is what we would call a rookie beginner.
Kind of blew through that one a little bit. Okay. Trying my best, you know. First one came out beautiful, but
all right, the piece is in. For being my first time, I would say it's pretty decent. I know that this piece right here needs to be filled in, but I'm gonna use a bit of epoxy to kind of fill in the rest of the little imperfections. So it ain't too bad. I know I got a little bit of a weld to probably get right about here, but here is pretty decent. This is reasonable, so. Here's a quick video of me removing all the surface rust with this beautiful tool I have here, with this 80 grit oxide rust remover. It's going by pretty quick. I am enjoying how quick this is going. It is not a bad investment buying these little discs that have this. It makes it so much faster. But if you don't, you could always use the old school little cookie. But I'll tell you right now, those little cookies always burn through me all the time. You know, I'll burn right through those cookies. The tool I'm using right now couldn't fit in this spot right here. So I went back to using the little baby cookie on this air tool I have here. It does do the job pretty decent. I'm just trying to get rid of all this old 50-year-old rust, and hopefully you guys enjoy the rest of this video. It is coming along. Little update on the hood. This side's pretty much sanded down. I'm gonna work my way on this side. Those are the little wheel and the big wheel, or also known as a cookie. It removes rust and paint and all that good stuff. I sanded most of the hood down. I gotta do still some spots. I'm gonna use this high solid seam sealer. I'm just gonna lift up some of the metal that it has a little play in it. Like, I don't know, it's hard to see in the video, but this, you know, has a little bit of play. I'm just gonna put a little bit of this high seam builder under there, and all those spots I'm gonna check them just to strengthen it a little better, so it's not so flimsy when you lift it up. So, and I got some body fillers for a little bit of the rusting pits that I couldn't get down smooth. It just, the rust got to it. So have a video on that in the next segment. So as I was sanding the hood down, I noticed some holes, pitments, rust pitments here, but the rust holes right there, and down here. I got this stuff called PC7, which is an epoxy, A and B epoxy. You mix part A with part B. It comes with into this color. You got about an hour to play with it, and this should do the job with those little holes. Here is the finished product. All the holes are covered. There was even one up there I covered. And there was, where's the other one? I think it's like somewhere right there. And a few down here too I covered. So, yeah, that stuff works out good when you just need to cover a little bit of holes. Rust holes. I moved the hood inside to the garage. I will not continue on the video with sanding. I'm not gonna have you watching me sand for hours, but I'll give you a little insight on what I have to do. I have to finish sanding here, possibly recoat it, put another bead of silicone on both sides, so you know when you open it, it doesn't turn like it was flexing. Like this hood here, it's completely solid, the whole hood. So when you open it, it's not trying to like flex since this is a big opening right here. I noticed that this hood was doing that. A lot of the original beads like this were kind of failing due to age, the glue. I'm also going to be using a primer from Eastwood. It is a contour primer filler. It fills in like little imperfections, stuff that you didn't, like little tiny little beads of rust. It's kind of like primer. I'm just gonna do the whole hood. I'm not gonna be spot spraying it. At this point, this hood is literally 50 plus years old, and I'm not trying to sit here and find the rust, little pinholes. I'm just gonna spray the whole hood. But this is that contour primer right here. You can use, I believe, one part to this, a little bit. You can find the data page online. I'm gonna read up on it a little bit more, but this is basically similar to like feather fill. The kind of gives you the spray applications and stuff. And, I have a 2.0, so it'd be just fine at that PSI. Gives you what to sand, all that good stuff. The guy at Eastwood, I have an Eastwood near me, an Elsip. Gary, the gentleman, suggested add a cap of acetone, thin it out a little bit, and it will definitely spray out a lot better. So I'm going to be using that, and also the under hood black from Eastwood. I'm going to buy a quart like this and spray that also. So I'll have some video on that, and stay tuned for this process on restoring the hood. So